The reason why a lot of students get stuck when they are trying to answer NCLEX question is because they don't even understand what they are doing. Right. Now, take for instance, you have a particular question. Now, let us say this is a particular question right here. Right. Now, a lot of students, when they pay attention to the question, right? Now, let's say this is a particular question you are getting on the NCLEX exam. Now, guess what? A lot of students will spend 2 seconds here and they will spend 5 minutes here. Right. Because their major concern is not the question. Right? Their major concern is the answer. So they are not taking time to understand the question that give them a clear direction what answer they should be looking for. The reason why a lot of students don't even pay attention to the question is because they don't understand that you are answering question on the NCLEX exam as a nurse. So every question on the NCLEX exam is about a particular care. Like NCLEX is giving you the opportunity to care for a particular situation, right? Or giving you the opportunity to put yourself in a particular situation of care related to that particular lovely unit that you dream of working in as a licensed nurse. Right. So before the NCLEX will allow you to have access to your license, right, that give you the ability to start working in this your lovely unit, right, you need to show to the NCLEX that you have the ability to understand every aspect of care, starting from answering 85 questions successfully or answering 86 to 150 questions successfully. That is how the NCLEX work. Right. So the aspect of care the NCLEX will be putting you in, we have 8 of them. Right. If you are taking the NCLEX-RN, right, this is what you need to know. We have management of care, we have safety and infection control. Right. I'm still going to give for the PN as well too. We have health promotion and maintenance. I'm trying to manage that space. Right. We have psychosocial integrity. So let me just short it. Right. We have basic care and comfort. Right. We have pharmacology, right, and parenteral therapy. So I'm just going to short it. Right. We have reduction of risk, and then we have physiological adaptation. Right. So this is what we have. We have 8 in number: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, for PN, this is coordinated care. Right. This remain the same. This remain the same. This remain the same. This remain the same. For pharmacology, it's just pharmacology. Right. NCLEX don't test this part. It's only RN that have the parenteral therapy. For PN, it's just pharmacology. This is the same. This is the same. Right. So now you know what the NCLEX will test. Right. So now knowing what the NCLEX will test is not enough. It's just like now, if you are trying to cook, right, because you know what you want to cook, don't automatically put the food in the plate. Right. Let's say this is the plate. Let me just put something like this, the plate. Right. You don't automatically put the food in the plate. Right. Because you know what you want to cook, don't automatically put the food in the plate. Because you know what the areas NCLEX will test, you don't automatically mean you will know what the examiner is testing. Right. Now, guess what you want to cook, right? What you have in mind you're cooking, you need to get the ingredient that you need to use, right? That you need to use to make what you want to cook. Now, so each of these test area, they have the ingredient in it. Like what it's just like now, if you fail the NCLEX exam, you got your test report, you will see that in this area you either have above the passing standard, below the passing standard, near the passing standard. So now you are now asking yourself this one question: how do I end up being above the passing standard? Now, this is the answer. In order to be above the passing standard, you just need one thing. Now, the NCLEX writer has created a particular document. This document, right, we call it the NCLEX test plan. Right, this NCLEX test plan tell you everything that will be tested on the exam related to each of these client need. So now if you go to the document, right, you can easily go to the document, like just go to this website, nclex.com. On top, you are going to see a particular area that puts prepare. Just click prepare. It is going to show you a pop-up, and then it will give you test plan. Click on it and download your test plan, either for RN or PN. Right, so now once you do that, you have the test plan. Now go on that document, go down the document. You are going to start seeing something like this. You will see that NCLEX is going to have something like a box like this. You're going to see management of care, something like that, and then it's going to list audio content that is under management of care. Now, in order to be above the passing standard, right, under management of care, you need to know every of the content that is there. Now, the moment you've mastered every of this content, you have the ability to be above the passing standard. Now, I've helped you with that. So that is how you end up being above the passing standard in any area that you were below the passing standard. But one thing I do for my students is I don't rely just on your test report, right? Or we also call it the candidate performance report. I don't rely on just that, because I've seen students in their first attempt, management of care or maybe any other area, they had above the passing standard. Now on their second attempt, they had below the passing standard in that same management of care. So what does that mean? It means that you've not perfectly understood that particular client need. So we need to work on that. So I just want to see your test report just to like know, the flow, right? And also I pay attention to the 5 key areas, right? The 5 key areas. What I mean by the 5 key areas, now let me explain what I mean by the 5 key areas real quick. Right, in order to pass the NCLEX exam successfully, one, you don't need to be above the passing standard in every of the 8 areas. That is one. Two, in order to pass the NCLEX exam, you need to meet up 60% success rate on the NCLEX exam. Right, and guess what? Everything NCLEX is going to test you, the 8 client need, right, make up 100% of the exam. Now, NCLEX has broken this content, right, or the client need into various percentage, right? We have some that is 18, we have some that is 14, we have some that is 16%, 18%, 14, we have 12%, we have 9%, so on and so forth. We have 21. It depends on your exam, right? If you go to your NCLEX test plan, right? If you go to your NCLEX test plan, go to page 5, right? You are going to see a pie chart. Let me clean this up. Go to page 5 of that document, right? You're going to see a pie chart, something like this, that break down the content area. The first one you might see right here will be management of care. I know this is not up to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me just 8. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. So something like this, right? That break it down: management of care, safety and infection and control, right? All the way right here. You see audio content. Now, this is what I call the 5 key areas. Now, 5 keys, right? For me. Now, this is it. You remember I said in order to pass the exam, you just need to meet up 60%, right, of everything you are doing, right? Everything make up 100%, right? Everything make up 100%. But I said they broke each of these area, like this can be 18%, this can be 12%, this can be 9%, right? Now, if we pick from the highest, which is the top, to the lowest, right? Guess what? We are going to like, okay, let me just give example, like for RN. Let me give you example for RN real quick so that we can get the understanding, right? Let me give you an example. For RN, we have 18%, we have 16%, we have 14%, we have 13%, right? We have, so 18, 16, 14, 13, right? We have 12%, then we have 9%, we have another 9%, and then we have another 9%. Now let's do the calculation real quick. Let me pull up my calculator. right? So my calculator is right here now. So now see 18, right? So 18 plus, this is the top 5, 1 2 3 4 5, right? So now top 5, 18 plus 16 plus 14 plus 13 plus 12, 73. So this top 5 give us 73% of the exam. Now remember I said we just need 60% to pass. Now imagine if we pay attention to this top 5, we already achieved 73. Now this is for RN. Now I've done the calculation for PN calculation for the top 5 is 71%, right, which is still above the 60%, right? We are also going to pay attention to all this as well too, but we are trying to prioritize this that give us the maximum ability to pass. Many students say, oh, how have you been successfully able to like help 700 plus students pass the exam? This is the secret, right? This is what I do behind the scene, right, to make students pass the exam, right? I walk you through this process, right? So something like this, right? Now it's all about, right, understanding the question, right? Now guess what? I'm walking you through the process, right? Now, you want to understand the principle of care. Now, NCLEX is putting you in many aspects of care. Now, NCLEX is putting you in the care of management of care, safety and infection control, promotion, psych, basic care and comfort. These are all the care you're going to see, their client need. So your 85 question will cover all these things. Now, if you don't know what the NCLEX, the kind of key, this kind of care, you will not be able to identify it when you see your question on the exam. You see the problem why you don't understand the question and you jump straight to the answers. You see your problem now. Great. Now, the first thing you want to understand is you want to understand what NCLEX is testing, right? Go through that document, the NCLEX test plan, and start going through it. Okay, NCLEX will test me related to advanced directive. Okay, NCLEX is going to test me related to confidentiality, prioritization, medical order, conflict, all this kind of thing, right? Infection control, medication, acute and chronic condition, right? You want to know all these things. Now, once you start knowing all these things, now when you see a particular question on the exam, since you're already filled up with all this knowledge related to what the NCLEX will test you, now in your mind you are now like, okay, so what is the NCLEX testing? So you are trying to reflect what the NCLEX is testing here related to what you've seen on the NCLEX test plan. You are not like, okay, based on the body of this question, because in order to know what the NCLEX is testing, right, 3 things play key role, right? Knowing the body of the question, understanding the stem of the question, and as well to the answer keys, right? These 3 things play a very big role in understanding. Now once you understand the body, the stem, the answer key, it will be clear what the examiner is testing, and it's always going to be related to what is on the test plan, because according to the NCLEX writer, this is where they pick the question from the test plan, which is true. I've been using just the test plan for the past 2 years to help students pass the exam successfully. Many who pass the exam in 85 question, right? So yeah, I used the same thing as well too. I was able to like to pass as well to 85 questions in less than 2 hours. So right, if you want to like be successful as well too, except if you don't like to pass the NCLEX exam, but if you are looking for a clear, direct way, a way that is not stressful in order to pass the exam, this is what I'm showing you right now. So now you see the question right here, so you are able to like go through the question. You're like, okay, this is what the question is saying, right? You understand it and you are able to apply the particular care. Remember, the care, you are not guessing it. You understand the care related to everything NCLEX want to test. You are not just guessing the care. You already know the kind of care NCLEX want to test. So this is the kind of care you are going to apply to the question. So the moment you understand all this content, you're already equipped already as a nurse. It's just like now nursing school has equipped you with all the knowledge needed to pass the exam. So now NCLEX believe once you have gone through the NCLEX test plan, you're already equipped now to start now giving this particular care. So now when you say a particular question, you need to understand, okay, what is the care right here in this question, so that you can implement it, you can apply it, right? So that is what NCLEX is all about. That is what NCLEX is all about. So the reason why a lot of students are unable to answer questions is that they don't even know what the question is testing. They are able to read and understand the question, but there's difference between understanding the question and knowing what the examiner is testing. You can understand the particular question based on your own opinion, but if you want to pass the exam in a way that you don't want to gamble it, right? You don't want to understand the NCLEX based on your opinion. You want to understand the NCLEX based on the information that the examiner will test, which is right here. Right, which is right here. That is what you want to do. This is how you can be able to pass the exam successfully. Now, I've been able to walk 700 plus students through this process, and they were able to pass this exam successfully. And I want you as well to pass the exam successfully, right? So you've been going through the whole teaching right from the beginning of this video to this point. Now, I can help you understand the NCLEX in a way that it's not going to be difficult for you to pass the exam in the next 60 days, right? So if you want me to do this for you, right, let me put something on the screen. Let me just clean up real quick. Right, as I said, I can be able to help you pass the NCLEX exam successfully. I know your pain, I know your frustration. Right, it's difficult to, like, most people, it's difficult for them to study alone. Most students, they cannot retain information. Most students, they don't even know where to study. They don't even know, even if they even have what to study, how to study it is a problem. There's family problem, crisis, situation that is not even making them focus. Some people need a coach to help them to walk through the process, somebody that will push them. Yes, if you are that kind of person, right. Now, in the next 60 days, I'm going to help you pass the NCLEX exam, right? I can guarantee you one thing, which is you are going to pass the exam after 60-day coaching under my coaching program, right? Which costs just, the investment is just $497, right? Many students pay this one time, and most students use a payment plan whereby they pay $250 now, and then they tell me when to pay the next one. And yeah, the whole goal is just to get you in so that you can be able to, like, get access to it and be able to pass the exam successfully, right? So if this is for you, I want you to reach out to me, right? Text me right now. My number is +1767 613 0769. So this is 0, right? +1767 613 0769. So you can text me, direct text, iMessage if you're using iPhone, or WhatsApp, anyone. Just reach out to me, right, so that you can get access to the coaching program. Once you text me, I'm going to send you the details. You make the payment, I get you into the coaching program, and trust me, it's going to be a great transformation. I've been able to, like, help students who were confused, don't know what they are doing, and at the end of the day, the whole statement they sent to me is, "Oh, coach, I passed." Right, so this is what I want for you as well too. I want you to say this to me, and yes, I use your success story, right, in order to encourage other students that feel like giving up to pass as well too, right? So I'll be waiting for your text, and I'm going to see you in the next one.